stories filled with doubt, with pain and struggle, with misunderstanding. And there's something in this struggle, I think, that is very helpful in achieving some of the promise that Jesus breathes out on his disciples as he shares his spirit with them. Some of what is given as he breaks bread with them, sharing his body and blood. I believe that we are caught in a tension between doubt and idolatry. And ultimately, it will be many of our doubts that help us dig more deeply into the truth of God and to lay aside the idols we have created. Clearly, if we had a God made of wood and overlaid with silver and some gems, at some point we would start to doubt its effectiveness in our lives. We would pray to it for rain or for some special gift, and we wouldn't receive it, and we would start to doubt. And that doubt would help us understand that God is not a wooden idol. But the truth is, anything we can imagine is not God. Anything we can understand is smaller than God. Anything that we can get our arms around and say, okay, now because of this apparition or because of this message, now I have what I need, it's less than God. But the other thing that all of these smaller ideas that are imagining God as an old man with a beard in the sky, at some point we'll move to doubt. We'll recognize, oh yeah, God isn't an old man in the sky. And the people that God has put in our lives to help us will be imperfect and will lead us to doubt, and then recognize that they're not God's perfect instruments, and that God is at work in a deeper and more complex way. And in these doubts, these men on their way to Emmaus, these disciples, and they're talking to the stranger who walks alongside them, and they say, but we were hoping that he would be the Messiah to bring redemption to Israel. But their idea of Messiah and redemption was completely wrong, and they had to doubt and let go of that belief in order to have their eyes opened and recognize Jesus in the breaking of the bread. And in our own lives, there will be many things that will have to grow to a more deep place, a place where this mystery that Jesus presents of God, where love has some concrete expressions and some encounters, but is always more deep than we can actually understand or embrace or find. And so we'll come to know God in beauty and in truth and love. We'll come to know him in our sacramental life. We'll come to know him through his ministers. We'll come to know him in his church, the community of believers. But we'll also struggle and doubt until we also know that God is more than we can understand, more than we can experience, more than our eyes can see. That God is greater than anything we imagine. And everything we imagine and know and understand is certainly less than God.